What is up? What is up, gente? What is up, people? What is up? Right now, I'm in Van Wert or something like that, Ohio. I don't even know how to pronounce the name, man, but I'm out here. I showed up yesterday after delivering in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I drove up here actually on 75, and I'm here since yesterday evening waiting for a tank wash, but apparently this place is closed on Saturdays, and they opened up today at 9:30ish or whatever. But I am here waiting for my tank to be washed, and as you guys can see, all these are tanks that need to be washed. These are dirty tanks, and this guy told me he would get to my tank whenever he could. So I don't know, man. I don't feel too confident about any of this. It's now, I don't know, let me see on the phone, what time is it? It's 1:25 p.m. and I've been here since almost 3 p.m. yesterday. It's just the tanker life. You just gotta, or anything with trucking, just gotta hurry up and wait, right? Anyways, I'm supposed to pick up this load at 3 p.m. today, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that because, like I said, the tank hasn't been washed yet. And like I said, it's already almost 1:30. And the next pickup is a good old 45 minutes away from here. So depending if this guy can get it in by 2, might be able to make it by 3, but if not, then I'm just gonna be waiting here. All in all, we'll see, man. We'll see. It is what it is, bro. But anyways, I just want to start this video off with the tank life, the tanquero life. Okay, guys, so they just finished washing the tank. Look what time it is, though. 4:32. So I'm gonna go hook up, and we'll see what the deal is, man. Alright, we're done. We can get rolling now. Gloves off, and we're off. Nah, just kidding. We're gonna do a pre-trip, my boy. We're gonna do a pre-trip, my boy. I was just kidding, man. Don't get mad at me, y'all. Check the lights. Okay, so we're finally ready to rock and roll. And I'm currently headed to Minster, Ohio. And I should be picking up something dairy. And from there, it should be taking me back home from my hometown, man. I've been out here, whoo, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 weeks maybe? Um, and that's about the amount of time that I like to be out for. If you guys are over the road or regional, question. How long do you guys like to stay out for? Or how long do you guys normally stay out for? Me personally, I like to stay out, according to the company policies. For example, if it's for every week you stay out, you get 1 day of home time type of deal. Then I'll just stick to that. And if it's a week maximum that you can be home for, then I'll only, be out here for that amount of time. I'm not trying to do anything extra because I actually do have a home to come home to. Like I'm paying a mortgage, so um, it doesn't make sense for me to be out here all this time. And you know, when I'm paying a mortgage and I have a home to come home to. And I've gotten this question before, where like, oh, why don't you just rent out your home or do a Airbnb type of deal with your home? And the thing is, I've done that before, even before trucking. But the issue is, man, it's just people sometimes don't care for your home like you do. In the sense that, people will break things, people will wait to the last minute to let you know about certain things about your home that's going to be an issue, and it turns out being more bigger of an issue and whatnot. So I've learned that, what, it doesn't, it's not financially in my best interest to rent out my home when I still need a place to live, and these people are not caring for my home. Or another issue I've had to deal with in the past is where people don't pay rent on time because they know that you're not there, or they know that, oh, he's a good guy. And when it comes to business, I try to be stern and whatnot, but sometimes people just take advantage. They see you with kindness and they take it for weakness, and um, they will try to it's not that they try to prevent, it's just people don't, for some reason people think that it's okay to pay rent late because, oh, he can just take my security deposit or whatnot. And it's just a headache, especially when you're out here on the road, because you got so many other crap that you got to think about and worry about, instead of stressing about, am I going to get my rent money on time, and if I don't get it on time, what do I got to do to let this person know? And it's like, oh, you're calling up, you're following up, hey, you missed rent, what's going on? And then they call you back, oh, they want to give you a whole sob life story, and then you're just like, come on, bruh, vámonos. And it's just another thing I have to stress out about while I'm on the road. So, I'm not trying to do that anymore. Anyway, so um, the thing I like about tanker, switching up, topics. The thing I like about tankers is you don't do the cat scales anymore. I don't do that stuff anymore. Ever since I switched over to tanker, what you normally do is, like, for example, here in Minster, where I got here, I wanted to say Minster, but like here in Minster, I got here, they got a scale on site or on their property. You scale before you go in. You get on the scale, you call these people up, you're like, hey, I'm a driver for so and so. I'm here to pick up load or pickup number or whatever the information they ask you for. You give it to them, and if you're there, sometimes early, sometimes they'll go ahead and take you. If not, it's okay. Um,
You get scaled before you go in, and you get loaded. And once you get loaded, you scale back. They'll tell you to go scale back. They'll tell you to go back on the scale so that way, they can see if you're, under the legal 80K weight limit. And if not, they'll take some more product off of you, and then you can be on your merry way, right? So that's one of the things I've been really enjoying about Tanker, because for the most part, I haven't had to go on a cash scale. And also, you don't gotta deal um, with the whole, what do you call it, sliding the tandems because of the weight. So they pretty much, in Tanker, they're pretty much just going off by the gross weight, right? The total weight. And I enjoy that, man. And I wanted to answer another question that I've had for one of the viewers. Or actually, I kind of get this question quite a bit. And that question is, do you need a hazmat to drive Tanker? Now, I'm going to say this. For food grade tanker companies, you don't need hazmat. You can get away with just having your tanker endorsement. And it would also help, if you could get your TWIC card. I know going home, that's what I'm going to do. I already scheduled an appointment for the TWIC enrollment here in Florida, or back home in Florida, I mean. And I'm going to get the TWIC card, and hopefully I should be able to pick up some loads from the ports. And I was told also that if we have our passports, that would be something that the company's looking um, for as well, because they want to send some of their drivers into Canada. So I have that as well that I'm going to try to let them know about, that I have it, see what that leads to. But the question being, do you need a hazmat endorsement to drive tankers? The answer is, well, there's no straight up answer, but my response is, if you are doing food grade tanker, you don't need a hazmat. And quite frankly, after seeing that one tank driver um, on the news, that the guy that the accident that happened in Philly on I-95, um, my future plans of hauling fuel was kind of, put in the back. You know what I'm saying? It's not a priority anymore. Once I saw that, it kind of just scared me. Trucking is already dangerous as is. Hauling tanks is dangerous as is. So having that issue of the things exploding, it kind of scared me, man. So we are loaded. They took about 2 hours, 3 hours, más o menos, more or less, to get me fully loaded, man. The cool thing about this place was they gave me a sample to take with me. This is the first place I've had that done, where they give you a sample to take with you to give to the place where you're delivering to. And as you guys can see, I'm going through the mountains here, and it's just beautiful, man. This scenery, I could never get tired of it. It's just so beautiful. Since I come, from Florida, I was born in Georgia, but I was raised all my life in the state of Florida. So everything is just, you know, flat land, and the hills, they're nothing, right? At least in South Georgia, it's just little hills, I would say. But I used to be amazed at them, when I was a kid. And now that, being a truck driver and seeing all these mountains myself, I just kind of feel like this small town country boy seeing these big old mountains. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen mountains, in Latin America, when I used to travel, but these are just, being a truck driver and being behind the wheel and seeing these mountains, man. It's just amazing, man. It's just beautiful. When I'm driving, obviously, you got to be a little bit more cautious, but, at least for me right now, I just take it in and I'm just like, wow. So the cool thing about this load taking me home was that I was taking I-95 home, right? And on the southern end of Georgia, there's this town called Brunswick. I have some family that live out there, so I decided to stop by and get some dinner with them. Kick back. Just conversate because I haven't seen them in a couple months. And luckily, they had some time, and we met up, and we caught up on what's going on and whatnot. And they took me out to see some of the local scenery, local spots. Especially the place being right by the Atlantic Ocean. They took me to the pier and took me to the one of the bridges that they have there in town, and just got to see what what the things are out there. And that's the one thing about trucking that sometimes I feel like when you can and if you can stop, just enjoy it, man. Take advantage of it when you can, because this load going to Jacksonville, it didn't um deliver to the next day, so I had this time.
Órale, man. I've been at this location in Jacksonville for Dannon, North America since 9 a.m. Or maybe it was 10 a.m. Doesn't matter. Now it is currently, look at the time, man. Look at that time. What time is it? I don't know if I zoom. I don't know if you can capture that time right there. But it's basically 4:45, man, p.m. And I want to go home, man, because, well, my home time, right? And these people are telling me they don't have room for this cream. This is the location. If you're a tank driver, if you're a tanker, and you're coming to this place, the slowest place I've ever been to, bro. The slowest place I've ever been to. And I still need to go drop this tank off in Tampa, at a tank wash, and then I can bobtail home. But I'm at least a good old 5-6 hours away from home, bro. But anyways, man, what's the longest you guys have ever waited at a location? I know guys who do reefer, they wait pretty long, but this is just ridiculous, bro.
So so from Saturday 9 or either 10 a.m. I've been here all the way till Sunday a.m. That's when I was finally left that place, man. And I deadheaded from Jacksonville, Florida to Tampa, Florida to drop off this tank. to get washed, and from there I'm bobtailing home, man. That was one of the longest ever places I've ever had to wait, to get unloaded. Their thing was that apparently their tank wasn't working, and whatever, man. I'm just glad that I'm free at last. And I'm gonna drop this tank to get washed, man, and I'm bobtailing home, and I'm supposed to meet, my pops and moms to get dinner at one of these little country towns on my way home. But hey, man, I'm just glad to be going home. I always get so happy and so excited to go home. But anyways, for all you guys still out on the road, man, be safe. Ponte trucha. I will see you guys next video. Al ratos. Peace.